What is up, guys? Steve here. Welcome back to my channel. So we're going over Turo, how to make your fleet run as smoothly as possible, and we are going to get into June's earnings. June was a pretty good month for me. I'm actually really stoked with it. I'm pretty happy about it. And I hope that July is gonna go just as well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about it because I have a couple cars that are down for 4th of July weekend, which is kind of weird. I know there's a few things that went on with that. My searchability went out the window. This was because I basically snoozed cars. I blocked cars. I told the app that I was unavailable, this and that, and I was still getting bookings on here. So then it was just kind of a pain. It was kind of a cluster, and it just sucks. But I think that messed up my searchability. On the positive note, this account right here will end up hitting all-star host, so I'm not too worried about that. So now I'll get a little bit of a boost when it comes to searching now, so that's a good thing. So let's get right into it. Remember, do all that stuff in the bottom. You guys know, like, subscribe. I like doing these videos for you guys. It does me a huge solid if you guys subscribe, share this, whatever you need to, and that way it kind of helps boost the algorithms. You know the drill. Definitely stay tuned because I'm really hoping that this course will be launched here Monday for you guys. I got this course coming out. This thing is going to be great. It's going to show you guys how to figure out what cars are doing what in the market, what any particular car on the market is actually earning. And so if you see a car that somebody else has and you're like, man, I really think I could go with that car, I'll show you exactly how to figure out how much that car is making and if it's worth it for you guys, and basically if you want to try and compete with that guy or if you want to try and go a different route. Stay tuned. I'll definitely have that out for you guys. Okay, so we are going to get right into this. So here we go. We have June's earnings, $4,224, which is great, right? And I will tell you, this is for, it says all vehicles. The Ford Fiesta, yes, this is on there, but I will tell you right now, it only made it to the last week of June. And that's when I got this $103. So I don't even really take that into consideration. It's nice to have, but it is what it is. Now the Ford Fiesta, if you guys were paying attention, it's kind of a pain because I bought it a month and a half ago, and as soon as I bought it, boom, recall hit, and it just kind of frustrated me, and then I was on top of it. It's one of those things, you have to stay on top of it, because if you don't, it'll basically get lost in the system. You're just sitting around waiting for months on end for it to clear for Turo. So this car, I was constantly on the phone with Ford dealership, I was constantly on the phone and emails with Turo, and we finally got it up. I do find it very convenient that this car got listed, and they made sure it got listed right before their incentive. I did think that was a little funny. Whatever, coincidence, you decide, but there you go. We will go into, let's see, we got the Ford Focus here. So the Ford Focus is staying pretty consistent. It's right about 800 bucks a month. But that tells you, you know, 814 for a Ford Focus. We can actually go over here to vehicles and I'll tell you exactly how this car did for June. Go to calendar. And this is where I like being able to do this instead of being on the computer. It's not as choppy and I can actually go back. So you can see it rented pretty good this week right here, the 1st through the 5th. It went out on the 5th, so the 1st through the 4th, that kind of sucks, but you can see utilization, it did pretty well. It was out majority of the month. I'm not mad at it at all, and you can see, like I said, I'm a little, I want more further out bookings, but it is what it is. I think I just kind of screwed myself up a little bit, and I'm also gonna be on vacation. So I have somebody else watching the cars, but I think that's, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Now we will go back to host, go to earnings, vehicles. So now my Honda Civic. So this one did really good in March, and then honestly, it just kind of fell off. I don't know what the deal is. I do know that, remember last month I was having issues because I was getting bookings at the beginning and the end of the week just because a new airline came in and boom, everybody was booking it. So I am actually happy that I was able to pull off what I have with this because remember, all my cars were gone just on the weekends and I was able to fill those gaps. So that's kind of nice. It goes to show you, the Civic has made $751 this month. Now, if I go back to vehicles, I can show you how long this thing was actually listed. I mean, I know it was listed, but how much it was actually booked. And there you go. It is very scattered. You can see it's just kind of there's a stepping ladder right there, or some stairs, whatever you want to call it. But that was me trying to fill those gaps. So I was also keeping it at a higher rate too, just to kind of see what happens. This one obviously could have booked out more throughout the month, but I'm not mad at it. Once again, it's doing very well. So let's go back to this Hyundai Accent. So this Hyundai Accent, this thing's just been gone. So as soon as I got it, that first month it did well, $493. Now this month, this is a full month of it being booked out. I have not had to do anything to this car. So we sent it out the end of May, and it's basically been out, and it comes back on the 4th of July, back to the airport, and this is one solid month of earnings without me having to do anything. Yes, it could have been a little bit higher. It's at $691. It could have been a little bit higher, but honestly, I'm not mad at it. I had it at a little bit cheaper price just because I was trying to get bookings on it, trying to get ratings, and that ends up happening. So boom, there you go. I mean, this car, I bought this thing on the 6th of May, and I mean, I'm not mad at this one bit. But there you go, full month booked out. You can see the trips, it's pretty great. So that one did pretty good. That's just straight cash flow, right? Now we'll go back to earnings. I'm kind of probably screwing you guys up here going back and forth. So the Forte, remember, this was the first month we listed the Forte. It did pretty good at $915 in April. May, it only did $460, but that was because, once again, we shut it down. We ended up wanting to do, that's the car that I brokered. We ended up wanting to do window tint and all that. He wanted all that stuff, yada yada, and then that just kind of screwed up searchability because we had it shut down. We had it snoozed for a day. But June, it really pulled its weight this month, $908, which is pretty awesome. Now it is a little frustrating because honestly, I had a trip for this car. The renter backed out right before the trip, so I should still get paid for that, but it's still just frustrating because I did move cars to a different address because I'm finally getting everything bound to the one address that I have, so that way I'm not shuffling cars. But this was the last trip at that old address, so I got it currently at that old address, and now I have to bring it back. So whatever, the only thing that really is frustrating about it is it was booked for this weekend, for a holiday weekend, and now it's not. Now, I am getting reimbursed, I am getting paid for lost earnings, so I guess that's a good thing, getting paid for a car that's actually not moving, so there's no maintenance, there's nothing going on with it, and it has potential to make even more money this week if it happens to rent. But as you can see, everybody's made their plans, it looks like, for the 4th, so now I'm just kind of banking on that last minute booking, which I should go through and really ramp up these prices just because, but I'm not really too worried about it. But you can see, for the most part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 days that this car was down. So it did really well. Like I said, June was super good for this car. For as much as you guys know how much I love that car. It's just a pain. It actually did really well. So now we will get down to the Mazda 6. This is another one. $663 the first month. This month, $957. Now this is pretty awesome. This is still one rental. And look at that, $242. You see this red up here, that's $99 of missed earnings. That was because I canceled that one trip. And like I said, not to be a jerk, but I will gladly miss out on that $99 of earnings to get that $957 of earnings. This driver, he is still out of town. I trust him with the vehicle. He's, hasn't been in any issues, and he keeps running it the way he needs to. So there you go, look at that. This is the Mazda 6. I mean, what else could you ask for in a car? Look at that. I have 2 trips on this thing, and one downtime, one down day, because I think I listed this thing on the 24th of April. And look at that. I mean, God, talking about cash flow and not having to worry about it. This is almost as good as a bail. This is almost as good as sending it to the airport and saying, here, fix it. Or not fix it, here, take care of it. But that gives you an idea. So this thing is actually doing very well. I'm pretty excited about it. Well, when it comes back, I honestly hope that it's in the same condition. I can't imagine it won't be, but the fact that it made that much money, I am not mad at it one bit. $957 for doing absolutely nothing. So this kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. So we will go back to full earnings, all vehicles. Like I said, 42.24, that's not a bad number. It's the same as frontwards as it is backwards. Look at that. That's gotta be some kind of good luck, right? So anyhow, that's what we got. Pretty excited about it. Got some upcoming earnings. I'm almost 1,000 for July, 221 for August. Like I said, I'm not mad at it at all. I know that July is going to be a little bit more difficult. I have the cars priced a little bit higher, and I need to start dropping it down just a little bit, because let's face it, the market is starting to get a little bit more saturated. I think people were seeing that incentive. I think they went out and bought cars, and now they're throwing them on the platform. I will say they probably got a little bit of trigger happy because they saw that incentive, so I'm gonna buy these cars in July 1st. I'm gonna throw them on the platform, this and that, without actually reading the fine details. So make sure you guys are doing what you guys can handle. You know, maintain what you need to. This is just earnings. This isn't bills and all that. The 4224, there are bills that have to come off that. Like, I did have maintenance, I did have registration, I had to do emissions on the Civic. And this is all stuff that I knew was gonna come up, so you gotta take that in consideration. I will get another video of this out to you guys of the exact breakdown of what my bills are, because I wanna say payments and all that stuff, payments, insurance, everything like that. It's just under $1,000, but now you throw in maintenance, you throw in some of the smog, you throw in the registration, now that goes up. So I'll make sure I get another video out that basically shows how I break all this down, so where I have a separate account for those annual bills that come up that I just kind of trickle money into. So that way when they come up, it's not like, boom, you have to pay $250, $600 for registration. I'm not saying that any of mine are $600, but for those higher end cars, basically figuring all that stuff out to where it's constantly going in there, so that way you are planning and budgeting for your fleet that's coming up, the upcoming expenses. So like, subscribe, do all that stuff down there, guys. So happy to see that this fleet did as well, and I know you guys are doing it way better. It's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys are doing. Hawaii, all those touristy areas. I feel like Hawaii, they're just on a whole nother level. I don't even know, they're not even on planet Earth right now. It's such a huge, you know, tourist attraction right now, and they're just crushing it. So congrats to you guys. Definitely keep it up out there. For all the rest of us over here on planet Earth, we're still hustling and grinding. You know, not everybody's just rushing to us like they are for you guys. but definitely some of the Florida, California, all that stuff, all the touristy areas, you guys are crushing it. I hope you guys, wherever you're at, Denver, Utah, Tennessee, anywhere out there, I hope you guys are just crushing it. Atlanta, make sure you guys are crushing it. Just keep grinding with it. Play with those numbers, make sure you get those bookings. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot in the future bookings, but my price is a little bit higher, my searchability. I kind of screwed all that stuff up, but I will bounce back, I promise you. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next ones. We'll catch you guys later.